Nighttime, underneath the covers, girl, you're all mine. See, everything feels right, so come a little closer, I'll take my time.
Yo, what's up, world? This is Kween K, and I am holding court with C.Rich.
What's cracking?
So anybody who knows me knows that I love R&B music, and in a city where it's oversaturated, if you will, with rappers and MCs and stuff like that, C.Rich here is one of the few that stand out as an R&B singer.
Blush.
So how are you doing today?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm great. So tell me, like, what got you doing what you doing? Like, how did
I start singing?
Yeah.
So, ironically enough, when I was 8 years old, up the street is South Shore Culture Center. I went to day camp there, and Jason Weaver came to day camp. I don't know if you guys know Jason Weaver. He was in Drumline. Jason Weaver came to my day camp and sang and performed, and all of the girls went crazy, like, oh my God, he can sing, or, you know, as an 8-year-old kid can do, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I thought to myself, I can do that. So I took his album, because he gave us all free copies of the album. I learned it from front to back, and there was this Hispanic girl that I thought was really cute in my day camp cohort, or whatever you want to call it. And so I sang one of the songs to her in like this talent show that we had or whatever. And she was like, ugh, get away from me. And then, so after she said, ugh, get away from me, one of my teachers pulled me to the side and was like, hey, that was actually really dope. You have talent, so I think you should pursue like really like being a singer. So after that, my granny just put me in voice lessons, piano lessons, things of the sort.
So from granny putting you in piano lessons, so you know how to play instruments as well.
Yeah, I know how to play piano and guitar.
And you write your own songs.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what do you think it is about your particular sound that sets you apart from everyone else?
So what we're doing now, I think one of the things that's different from a lot of R&B music and a lot of music in general today and just in the Chicago scene is that we're using a lot more live instrumentation. I mean, you see it with Chance, you see it with Nico, Kizzy's Days, a lot of the artists like that. They use a lot more live instrumentation. They use guitars, trumpets, things of the sort. And we're doing almost the exact same thing, only we're doing R&B music as opposed to rap. So, you know, I'm taking the time to sit down and chart out these records before we actually go to the studio and produce and record them. So a lot of the records that you'll hear on my project Certified Organic, you'll hear these things that I actually sat down and took time to write out chord progressions for. So it sounds a lot different than, you know.
So, which sort of certified organic, which is like your daily project, or one of them.
Yeah.
When is it coming out? Tell us about it. What's the inspiration behind it? Who's on it? What can we expect?
So Certified Organic is like a 7-song EP.
Okay.
We're looking at releasing it towards the end of this summer, which is very soon. We're looking at releasing the first video from the project actually in 2 weeks, which should be pretty dope, you know. And essentially what Certified Organic is it's a project that DC and I, at Mix by DC, DC and I, we started working on it about 1.5 years ago when he was living in Atlanta, and I would travel back and forth from Atlanta to Chicago, and we just worked, and it was something totally different at first. It was really just going to be a project about how much both DC and I enjoyed partaking in, you know, illegal substances. But it turned into something much more, and it's kind of like an expression of like how we feel in terms of just about music, about love, about women, and of course illegal substances.
Okay, that sounds like an interesting sound, and hopefully, if you guys weren't interested before, after he described it, I hope you guys are interested now. 27 years
26.
old. 26.
That's right.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
26 years old. A lot of people in Chicago are hung up on you have to be a certain age to be on.
Mm-hmm.
What's your take on that?
I think that you don't necessarily have to be a certain age to actually get on, but I think that it helps when you're younger because you have less responsibility when you're younger. You have the ability to be more selfish. You have the ability to actually sit down and say, hey, this is my goal. This is what I'm going to do to get to that goal. This is what I'm going to do to achieve what my dreams are. Once you get older, you graduate, you have a real job, you have children, you have a family. You know, those are the things that kind of hinder you being able to do what you want to do or get on, so to speak. Exactly. Life gets in the way and you have other things to be worried about. You know, you can't worry about your dreams, unfortunately. I think the age thing it just depends on where you are in life, really.
So at 26, where are you in life?
You know, I'm in a good place. Back in school, you know, after not being in school for a very long time. Looking to graduate fairly soon. It's looking like May 2014. I'm looking at moving to LA. I've got a wonderful girlfriend. And I'm just in a really great place. And so I think that's one of the things that helped certify organic, just the project in and of itself. And not just that project, but just music in general. I think that's what helped music pick up for me is the fact that I'm in a much better place in my life as opposed to being in a really dark place.
So, you mentioned moving to LA.
Mm-hmm.
I find it kind of interesting that you choose to leave Chicago and move somewhere else. Although it is not uncommon, I want to know your reasons behind, why leave with so many passions.
LA, first of all, LA is amazing for anybody who hasn't been. And LA is just a hub of entertainment opportunities. So, I can be here in Chicago and I can work and release music, but really, LA or New York is really where it's at when it comes to music or anything entertainment-wise. If I really want to break through as a songwriter, the unfortunate thing is the artists are in LA, and that's where I need to be to get my songs to them, to get them heard, to start getting some real placements, Also, just LA is just a beautiful place, and, the warm weather, the sun beaming down on you all day, it just generally just makes you a happier person, and, music comes from all sorts of emotion, but like I just said a second ago, when you're in a happier place, it's easier for you to create more,
So, do you feel like you would get more support in another city versus a city that everybody loves to hate?
No, not at all, man. I love Chicago. I love everything about this city. I love the people. I love the skyline. I love being able to go to my rooftop on Wednesday nights and watch the fireworks. I love everything about Chicago. I think it comes under way too much flack. I think one of the things that's really, really, really amazing is this hip-hop resurgence that's happening right now that's primed to not just put hip-hop artists on in the city, but primed to really do a lot of damage when it comes to all genres of music, because the labels, their eyes are on the city right now. And not just the labels, but people who are looking for music to put in movies, people who are looking for music to put in commercials, just music in general, they're watching Chicago because this is the Mecca right now.
How do you think that came about?
I have no clue, actually. All I know is I was at home in January 2012. I saw a video of some kid screaming about Chief Keef being out of jail.
Right.
And then a few weeks later, I saw the video for 300. I was like, this song is raw. Then a month later, Dude was everywhere. And then right after Dude was everywhere, Chance was everywhere. Then right after Chance was everywhere, Louis was everywhere, and it's just like all of these Chicago artists just stepping it up, and it's just great, man. It's great to be a part of it, you know. It's definitely great to see a lot of the artists that used to record in my living room be signing these deals, you know. So.
Have you ever felt slighted by anything? Because, you know, the music industry in itself is shady. You know, it can be a nerve-wracking place to be in. But the Chicago music industry, because everybody knows each other, because everybody is so closely linked together, you know, a lot of shady things often happen to people. And whether it's by way of business or, you know, it's just some really evil people. Have you ever personally experienced some type of shade?
No, I've never experienced any type of shade. I've never actually felt slighted in any way by any artist. You know, I'm actually really happy. Like I said, I hate to reiterate, like, you know, I'm just really happy that everybody is like getting their due shine, because it makes me feel like they're working hard. I'm working hard right along with them. You know, that if I keep making the same moves and I keep doing the things that I need to do, then shortly I'll be in the same kind of position.
One more thing about certified organic. When it drops, what do you expect to happen? What's the marketing?
Well, right now we've hired a publicist, and so he's really handling kind of getting it to where we want it to be, getting it to all the blogs, getting it all of the press that we think it needs and deserves. In terms of marketing plan, I'm really looking to use Certified Organic as a way to do a lot of shows, a way to have a live band and command a lot more paid shows, and to really just use Certified Organic as a stepping stone, use Certified Organic as a stepping stone to being one step closer to having music be a full-time career profession. You know, being able to wake up, roll over, you know, take a shower, and then just walk in the studio, as opposed to wake up, roll over, take a shower, and then go work for 8 hours, you know.
Any shout-outs?
Shout out to DC, at Mixed by DC. Definitely got to shout out my writing partners, 2G at 2G Make a Move, and also Thomas Mack at Tom Mac 2 on Twitter. Those dudes are just beneficial to my career. Also, shout out to my girlfriend at Miss Rich and Famous on Twitter. And just everybody who's ever listened to a record. Like, I appreciate you, and I appreciate you guys for doing an interview with me. You know, a lowly peasant as myself. So.
Okay, and shout out to Kween K. Everybody knows who you guys are. How can they get into tune with your music? C.Richmusic.com, right?
That's right. C.Richmusic.com, SoundCloud.com/C.RichMusic, C.Rich Alchemist on Twitter, and you know, 10 times out of 10, whenever I release anything, it's gonna be on allhailstoQueenK.com. So.
Which will pretty soon be allhailstoqueen.com.
There you
dropping
go.
August 1st. So,